Alright, so today I'm going over the best strikers in each weight division. I'm doing it based off of how good you do against everybody else in your division on the feet, not based off of how good were you at kickboxing and what was your record in other sports. No, I'm doing it based off of right now on the feet, how good do you do against everybody else in your division. So let's get started. For flyweight, I got Brandon Moreno. I mean, if you look at him, you put him on the feet against anyone, I'd favor him in those matchups. Pantoja, I feel like he was starting to piece him up on the feet a little bit, or not really starting to. He was the whole fight. I know Pantoja was catching him too, but Pantoja was catching Royval, who's a great striker too. And I know you could consider Royval, Cape, maybe even Kai Kara France, but Brandon Moreno finished Kai Kara France with the kick to the body, I think. Brandon Moreno's got some great boxing too. So yeah, I think you could definitely argue for maybe Cape, but probably not because we haven't seen him against like anyone that good yet. His last fight was against a guy making their UFC debut. But Brandon Moreno, I feel like he's better than Royval, and I guess we'll see because they're about to fight. And I pick Moreno in that fight, but you could argue for Royval, but right now I'm gonna go with Moreno because he finished Kai Kara France on the feet, and mostly everybody he's fought, he's gotten the better of them on the feet, and he's got great boxing. So I pick Kai Kara France for flyweight. For bantamweight, I got Sean O'Malley. He made Peter Yan shoot for the takedown. I think on the feet, he beat up Peter Yan, or Peter Yan beat him up a little bit too, but I think he did more damage on the feet against Peter Yan, who a lot of people consider to be the best boxer in the UFC. So if you're able to put a beating on that guy, and I know it went both ways, but O'Malley put more of a beating, that's pretty impressive, and he was able to knock out Aljamain Sterling, who a lot of great strikers were put in with Aljamain Sterling, like Corey Sandhagen. I know TJ Dillashaw was injured, but he was still in there with them. Peter Yan, who a lot of people consider to be the best boxer in the UFC, and all of them weren't able to finish Aljo. So, and he was the only guy to do it. And in all his fights, he just showcases great striking and everything. He's just a very good striker overall, man. I haven't seen tons of flaws in this guy's game. So yeah, unless he looks really bad against Cheeto and Cheeto beats him up in the feet, I think it's pretty safe to say that he's the best striker in the division. I know you can say Sandhagen, there is an argument for him, but right now I just feel like O'Malley's a better striker, and he's proven it a little bit more. I mean, look at both of their fights against Peter Yan. I know styles make fights, but we just seen O'Malley and Sandhagen against the same guys, and O'Malley just does better against them. So for me right now, I feel like O'Malley's a better striker, and he's the best striker in the division. But I can see an argument for Sandhagen, because Sandhagen does some crazy shit on the feet, and he looks very good. Alexander Volkanovski, I have him at the best striker for featherweight, just based off of the way that he put a beating on Max Holloway in that third fight, who a lot of people consider to be the best boxer in the UFC. Volk was able to shut him down 50-45, Max Holloway on the feet the whole fight, no wrestling, who Max Holloway is considered to be one of the best strikers in the UFC right now, and Volk just shut him down like it was nothing. Now I can see an argument for Yair, because if you look at most of Yair's fights, you think about if they're just on the feet. Man, Yair would win a lot more fights than he's actually won if it was just on the feet, no grappling, no nothing. But, man, Volk, he just has some amazing striking. You just look how he's able to shut people down. He's relentless. You know, nothing you can do will stop him. And he's just going to keep going forward with great technique, great pressure. The dude's just the best striker in the division. I think Yair's probably second. Maybe Max Holloway, though. There's just so many great strikers in this division, man. You got Ilya, Max, Yair, Volk. Cater's decent. I mean, he's definitely levels below everybody else, but there's just a lot of good strikers in this division. But, man, Volk's beating them all up. He finished Yair, who I was just praising as a really good striker. He finished him. I think, he took him down and finished him, but he rocked him on the feet. He rocked him bad on the feet. He beat Max Holloway 3 times. And who was the other person I mentioned? Ilya? Yeah, well, they're about to fight, and we'll see what happens there. But right now, I have Volk as the best striker at 145. For lightweight, I have Justin Gaethje. Now, I know a lot of people are going to give me flack for saying this, but I think Islam, you really could argue he's the best striker at lightweight too. Because he just knocked out Volk, who I have at the best striker at featherweight. But for now, I'll go Gaethje. He just knocked out Dustin Poirier, who's another amazing striker. He was able to put a beating on Rafael Fiziev, who's a great striker himself. He was able to beat up Michael Chandler. I know that was a war, but he definitely got the better Chandler on the feet. He's just showcased some really great striking. Oh yeah, he also destroyed Tony Ferguson's career. Yeah, so Gaethje has showcased some amazing striking in his fights. He has a lot of power. He sets up some big shots, fucking head kicks, everything. Man, Gaethje, I think right now he's proven to be the best striker, but Islam's a close second, because Islam was able to have a lot of success against Volk on the feet in the first fight, and then finish him in the second fight in the first round with a head kick. So yeah, but right now I have Gaethje. And yeah, so now moving on, welterweight. I know a lot of people might disagree with this, but I got Wonder Boy. I know I said, oh, kickboxing doesn't count. I'm just doing based off UFC right now, and I'm standing on that. Because Wonder Boy, put him against all these people that he fought on the feet, only on the feet, he probably beats them. If you look at that Shavkat fight, Shavkat didn't want to stand with him. If Shavkat stood with him the whole fight, I think that's a different fight. Same thing with the Bilal Muhammad fight. Same thing with the Gilbert Burns fight. Now, this guy's weakness is obvious. You take him down, he's very easy to take down. So you could just wrestle him the whole fight. But that's why people do it, because if they stand with him, they're going to get fucked up. I mean, look at his fight against Kevin Holland. He looked great there. He fucking schooled Kevin Holland on the feet. Kevin Holland's no joke. So, yeah, I got Stephen Thompson. I think he's the best striker. Just look at the people in the division. Usman. If Stephen Thompson and Usman are on the feet the whole fight, who's winning? I think we know if Stephen Thompson wins that. Number 2 is Bilal. We all know Stephen Thompson and Bilal. If they're on the feet the whole fight, we know who wins that. Number 3, Colby. If Colby and Stephen Thompson are on the feet the whole fight, we know who wins that. I can keep going down the list. He beats all these guys on the feet. Maybe Leon, I think he struggles with maybe. But, yeah, I think Stephen Thompson's the best striker in that division right now. But maybe once, if he gets even older and he gets knocked down in his next fight, they'll change. And somebody else showcases some really good striking, like Ian Gary. Maybe he'll change. But right now, I think he beats most people in the division if the fight's just on the feet. For middleweight, I have Israel Adesanya. I know that Strickland just schooled him, beat him 4 rounds to 1. But you got to look at how Izzy does against everybody else in the division. I feel like Izzy can beat more people in middleweight than Strickland can. I think Izzy beats Dricus because Izzy's a great counterpuncher, and I think he'll just catch Dricus coming in. I think Izzy beats Cannonier. I think he definitely beats Cannonier again. All these people that you look at in the division, think about Izzy fighting them and think about Strickland fighting against them. I pick Izzy to win more of those fights on the feet. I just do. I don't know, man. But Strickland, I know he schooled Izzy, but yeah, I think Izzy just does better against more people. So yeah, I have Izzy at the best striker at middleweight, and you just gotta look at what this guy's done, man. He knocked out Pereira, who's a great striker in his own right. He was able to knock out Whitaker. He was able to beat Cannonier pretty handily, who's no joke. And yeah, I think he's gonna beat Dricus if they fight. So yeah, for the best striker right now, I got Israel Adesanya. This guy has some great striking. For light heavyweight, I got Alex Pereira. You know, you just look at the division. Who else could beat him on the feet? He already beat Jan on the feet. He already beat Yuri on the feet. I think he's gonna beat Jamal Hill on the feet. I think he beats Magomed on the feet, definitely. Just look at the division. Nobody else beats him on the feet. I think this is a pretty obvious pick. I think when it comes to the striking, he's levels above everybody else. Maybe not levels, because Yuri was giving him a little bit of trouble in their fight. But apart from that, man, he finished him. So yeah, Alex Pereira, I think he's definitely the best striker in light heavyweight. I don't think there's really any questioning it. The 2 other guys that are considered to be the best strikers, he already schooled. And then there's Jamal Hill, which we'll see what happens when they fight. But I think if that fight stays on the feet, I think Alex Pereira schools him. So, for heavyweight, I got Ciryl Gane. Now listen, you can say what you want about him, but the 2 fights he lost it due to grappling. When it's on the feet, I don't think Francis Ngannou wanted any part of that, because if that fight stays on the feet and Ngannou could always catch him, but Ciryl Gane probably schools him. And even with the Jon Jones fight, Jon Jones was going out there looking a little slow. I think Ciryl Gane would have picked them apart in that fight if it stayed on the feet. But Ngannou and Jones both had good game plans. They took him down. Jones finished him, and Ngannou got the decision. But whenever you're standing on the feet, this guy is a nightmare. Like, you look at the division, there are some tough matchups for him on the feet, I will admit. Aspinall's probably a tough matchup. Pavlovich, Sergey's probably a tough matchup on the feet. But I feel like he could probably just beat those guys if it's just standing. Now, if him and Aspinall would fight, I would pick Aspinall, because I think Aspinall would mix it up. But if that fight was just on the feet, Ciryl Gane probably beats him. Now, it is close. It could go either way, but I would edge towards Ciryl Gane if it's just on the feet. Just look at all his fights. Forget the wrestling, forget the grappling, because this is a strikers tier list. Or not tier list, but the best strikers in each division. Nobody else beats this guy on the feet. Now, you could catch him. Tai Tuivasa almost knocked him out. But if you don't catch him with one shot, and you're standing on the feet with him the whole fight, he probably picks you apart. And maybe even finishes you. So, yeah, that's my tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that.